Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, the O.C.G, and I'm back playing more the Callisto Protocol.
Excellent choice.
My first real opportunity to upgrade shit.
Finished. Executing. Cycle complete. Please operate responsibly. Have a united day.
The pistol's one of the weapons you're going to be using the most, so you should spring for it.
Print finished.
You'll get more pistol ammo than you will any other gun in the game. So it really does pay to spec out the pistol. It's your good standby. What I mean, a good pistol is, you know, your go-to fucking sidearm. Oh, that's new. Yeah, I guess.
It seems like it's infecting them, turning them into those things.
Take that elevator down to the next level, then follow the signs to reach medical. I'll be in touch.
Living in a different place now, so... Yeah. Moving two different people, moving an entire family by basically yourself, and, you know, my dad obviously did half the lifting, but I had to do half of it. Not fun. Especially because I have knee and back problems. But, you know, it happened, it's done. I'm sorry, what was that? Hold on, let me see what I'm saying. Yeah, I really haven't been on Discord a whole lot. And then, yeah, they've moved around collectibles. In this newest patch for this DLC, they're no longer where I fucking thought they were. It's kind of weird, kind of freaking me out. Anything you was watching, I appreciate you. I mean, yeah, it's a great game. I don't think this game deserved the hate that it got. A lot of people hated on this game. I disagree. And I mean, honestly, me collecting the collectibles is just optional at this point. I've platinumed this game, but whenever I play through this, I always prefer to get everything done that I can. And they moved one collectible to way earlier, and then another collectible I should have got in the last chapter I have not seen yet. But yeah, I played this last year, December, and a lot of people shit on this game. I really liked it. I've been a staunch defender of this game, and they were always going to do a big story DLC for this, and they did. And it's like the actual ending of the game. It's like the final, like it's a continuation. It's not like a side story, and it whole thing, especially since the new chapter takes place immediately after the ending and expects you to be familiar with all the in-game shit. So I felt like just jumping right into it might be an issue.
Can't open it. You'll need to find security credentials. Look around for any dead guards nearby.
Oh, that's right. It's like over here if I remember correctly.
Found one.
Use your shiv to dig out their implant.
Wait, what?
You don't have a choice. It's the only way through that door.
All about even getting the collectibles in this game are fucking brutal.
You do what you gotta do in here. This place has a way of changing you.
Neck jerky.
I didn't have a choice. Inmates were tearing through the block. I had to seal the door. Does anyone copy?
Yes, Officer Jane.
Warden Cole? Where are you?
In my tower. Watching.
What? Why? What's happening?
The end of a long journey.
Oh yeah, no, he sounds like a totally on the up and up guy. I mean, you don't want to get caught. Otherwise, the only thing getting folded is you. But yeah, you especially don't want to be in the laundry mat during an undead outbreak. There's no such thing as too much ammo. Yeah. No, this game is fucking gorgeous. This game is made on Unreal Engine 4, and this is, along with Jedi Survivors, probably the best looking Unreal Engine game. Unreal 4 engine game. Even people who dislike this game, who shit on this game, could not knock the graphics. It is fucking immaculate. Fuck me. I need to get... You have really limited inventory space early on.
I had to fall back. There were too many. They captured my entire squad. Please, you have to send someone. I don't know how long that door will hold. Get him! Oh God! No!
And honestly, this has some of the best character models you will ever fucking see. It's like straight up. I also like that this game manages to avoid a common cliche of a lot of sci-fi projects, which is that they look sterile. That's one of the things that keeps me out of a lot of sci-fi, is I really don't like it when sci-fi is like sterile and clean, and it's like so high-tech that it has no personality. It's not appealing to me. And that's why, like, when you combine that with the fact that, like, a lot of sci-fi gets, like, way into the technology. Like, I'm fine with some technology, but when you're, like, getting, like, into an hour-long detail of what makes that engine run, I don't know, I just lose interest. But, like, stuff like Alien and Star Wars and Dune have technology, but they have it be very lived in. So it's not just fucking sterile and white and, you know, symmetrical. And I have to appreciate this game doing that as well. Especially considering that a huge, huge part of horror is predicated on fucking atmosphere and visuals. Like, I know everybody wants to say graphics don't matter, but in a lot of cases they do. And in a horror game where atmosphere is fucking crucial, stuff like lighting, technically that's graphics, but lighting is fucking vital. The difference between good lighting and flat lighting can literally mean the difference between an area being creepy and just normal. To say nothing of the fact that 70% of our perception of the sensory data we gather into our brain comes from our eyes. They are our largest gatherer of data. So, I'm not going to say that graphics are the only thing. They're not. Okay, you can have a game that has bad graphics and it's still good, okay? But graphics, to say that graphics don't matter, it's just stupid. Especially, like I said, when people think of graphics, they tend to just think of the technical stuff, like, oh, technically this looks good. But stuff like aesthetic, lighting, mood is also graphics. You can have a game that has meh graphics, but has fucking awesome aesthetic, has awesome mood, awesome atmosphere, and technically that's still graphics, but it's so much more than just the raw metrics. You know, like Elden Ring. Elden Ring looked decent, okay? Nobody's gonna say Elden Ring didn't look, you know, but it didn't look that fucking great. It was okay-ish, especially considering that it came out as cross-gen. But it had a gorgeous aesthetic. So most people you talk to, myself included, if you ask them, does Elden Ring look good? The answer is yes. Even though technically, it's only okay. Because of aesthetic. Lighting, attention to detail, and, you know, and like I said, that's especially crucial in horror, where the mood is like half the fucking point. And they actually have, you know, they had to overhaul parts of Unreal 4 to get this lighting to work. And like I said, it works. Like I said, like this right here, this is a super atmospheric fucking hallway. But if you just took the lighting away and made this brightly lit, it would just be another fucking hallway. Lighting makes, you know? And I mean, no, graphics don't at all. At any fucking point. But they can elevate it.
This will be my final report from here. The tower renovations are nearly complete. And the program. Reactivated under the supervision of Dr. Mahler. And what do you hope to achieve? Results. After decades of misguided research. Don't you see? Evolution doesn't happen in the lab. It happens in the wild.
On top of that, this is compared to Dead Space. I mean, as it should be. It's very similar to Dead Space, and it's made by the same team that did the original Dead Space. It just so happened that this came out the month before the Dead Space remake. Even though they're by different teams, it was a coincidence. This game has been in development for a long fucking time. And they by the time they announced the Dead Space remake, this game was already 80% done. There's no way they could have known. It just was a coincidence. They launched so close to each other. Because when they started work on this game, Dead Space was fucking dead. No pun intended. The series had no future. So this was the same director of Dead Space working to make a new game. And how could he even know that by the time they were about to release their modern successor, that Dead Space was getting a remake? And one of the things that I definitely like about this is the setting, because this game is set on a planet. There's like virtually no space in this. And there's lots of stuff out in the snowy wilderness later on. And I will infinitely prefer that to space. I can understand why people like space. I can understand why people are like, oh my god, space. But at the same time, to me, space is kind of boring from like a perspective, you know? It's fucking void. So this is on Callisto. For the record, it's a real planet. Well, it's a moon. It's one of the 3 moons of Jupiter. You know, there's parts of this game that takes place out on that, and it's all like dark and spooky and snowy, and that to me will always be more interesting than space or the inside of a spaceship. Fuck a duck. See, like, you have such limited inventory space in this game. It's really frustrating, at least in the first half. Later on, you get like a suit, and you have like it doubles your inventory slots. But yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And then later on, you get more. Once you get armor, it improves your health. Like, you get a suit of riot armor, it improves your health and storage capacity, kind of like getting the satchel shit in Resident Evil. And you know, that's another thing I really like about this game is like the guns and the weaponry, because in Dead Space, everything was made for engineering. And you know, that was clever, that was unique, you know, because you're not just using a gun, you're using repurposed shit for engineering. A plasma cutter turns into, you know, I'm a hack and slash. But in this game, everything is based off of a prison motif. So you know, you get like a riot gun, riot gear, riot armor, and I've always kind of liked the whole like the whole riot aesthetic. A riot shotgun is like one of the most like kick-ass shotguns you'll ever fucking see. And I just, like I said, I always find it more gratifying, but I can understand where some people might find it more unique or whatever. Let me see. Yeah, okay, I'm making sure I get all the collectibles. I'm also getting a phone. I'm so glad. My current phone died before we moved here, and it really fucked me. I'm getting a new phone soon. Like a good phone. The last two phones I've had have been like shitty track phones, which is like the like gutter phones. And I mean, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and shit all over them because it was a phone. They did the job. I'm not gonna be like a fucking snob, but you can definitely tell it's like a shitty phone, and it's good. I'm actually getting a decent phone. Yeah, sure. I could add you on Twitter, or I could add you back on Discord. We'll see. You know, like I said, I've just now kind of been settling in. I'm just now getting to the point where I can function, man. I lost most of my shit in this move. Me and my dad had to do most of the moving by ourselves, and we only had a super limited time, like 2 days, because we could not afford to rent a moving truck any longer. So, not only did we have to haul ass to get all this shit done, but we had to leave a lot of our shit behind. I lost a lot of my shit in this move. Still, stuff that I'm still trying to get back. We don't even really have much furniture right now. Hold on one second, I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom. I just had to pee. 15 seconds. Alright. I'm still honestly basically recovering. We've only been here just over a week. We've been here like maybe less than 10 days. I think we've been here 9 days. So like I lost all of my game cases. You know, I had like thousands of games that I built up over my life. I had all these game cases, and just about every one of my game cases, I couldn't carry all the game cases. So I basically had to take like fucking plastic bags and throw all of my game discs into cases. So I was able to keep the discs. I was able to keep the games, but I lost all the cases, which really hurt me. I had an entertainment center that I had for like 8 years. I got it back in 2017. And I had to fucking ditch it. Like I said, by the time I moved here, I basically had like 5 boxes when everything was said and done. I lost most of my shit on here. So we're just now trying to get stuff back and doing all that. So go.
Keep going to the back exit. I'll contact you there.
There's no more room. Patients stacked in the hall. The first case came in an hour ago, and they just keep coming. We're losing control. We have to find Mahler. Where the hell is she?
And honestly, as bad as it sounds, as bad as things are, it honestly could have been a lot worse, okay? We honestly fucking came over here by the skin of our fucking teeth. We didn't even have this place lined up until just a few days before the move. Okay, so honestly, a lot of bad things could have happened. Yep, grip. So I'm just happy we made it here, because, like, we, for a long time, did not have a single fucking place lined up. So we thought we were going to be homeless. It was a scary situation.
That's a grip. Bastard guards love to use it on us inmates.
Yeah, I remember.
But it's good. It works on all sorts of things, too. Go on, give it a go.
Will do.
Honestly, I already like this place way fucking better. I actually have a fucking window. My last place did not have a window. I had no window in my room. Never got any natural lighting. Never got any fresh air. So.
What's going on? We don't know. Just hold him. I'll get another sedative. Hurry. We got prisoners in active way. Dr. Muller. Bring it up. Dr. Muller.
I'm just now trying to settle back in, get back into the groove. I wasn't streaming for a while, and then so I'm just now finally settled to the point where I can get back into it, so. Well, I appreciate it. And we honestly, we had to spend money we didn't fucking have just to get in here. So we're fucking behind now. Not, you know, we're still doing okay, but it's like, there are several games I wanted to fucking get that I wasn't able to get because I get it in the grand. Like, oh my god, but, you know, still. Just sucks. I had the fucking money set aside for Amnesia Bunker, and I couldn't fucking get that. I had to basically give up on that, and then, after everything, I fucking basically had to go out my medication, so that's been fun.
UJC Printing at your service.
You know things are bad when you struggle to buy a $25 game. What are you gonna do? Oh, no, yeah. No. It looks fucking incredible. Everything I've seen about it looks fucking great. It seems great. It looks really fucking good. And, you know, it was only $25, so I thought, oh, sure, I should be able to get it. And, you know, didn't end up that way. What are you gonna do? Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to my shit for a little bit. But yeah, no, like I said, from what I've seen, it looks fucking great. I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about it. I've played through and fully beaten every other Amnesia game, so it's definitely on my to-do list.
Jacob, you made it. I'm going to open up the maintenance elevator. That'll get you up here, yeah?
On the bright side, at least it still is like, you know, it's only $25, so.
Stop, please. I'll give you anything, whatever you want. No, we don't want anything from you. We're just having fun. No.
Looks like it's busted.
Get inside. I can drive it from here.
You sure about that?
Gonna lower you down nice and easy.
Brakes don't look too good. Elias!
I'm trying. One of the motors shorted out when I transferred power.
Stop the cab! Stop it! Elias!
The system's not responding. You've got to do it manually.
Wait, what? How?
Just jam something into the brake. Hurry!
And on top of that, I gotta find fucking some way to get money for later when fucking huge amount of games come out this year.
Come on, you son of a bitch!
Honestly, 2023 has been a fucking ridiculous year for gaming. The sheer amount of games coming out, or you know, that have came out already are just fucking insane. We have fucking Atlas Fallen coming out in August. I'm really looking forward to that, because it's maybe the same team that did Lords of the Fallen and the Surge. Yeah, Final Fantasy 16. I played through that, it's great. Fucking September. I had Final Fantasy 16 bought for me many months ago as a birthday present. So, I didn't have to pay for that one, thankfully. But no, so, you know, in August we have Atlas Fallen, that's from the studio that did Lords of the Fallen and the Surge 1 and 2, and then September we have Lies of P, which was, I played the demo, that was fucking amazing. Then in October, it's just fucking insanely jam-packed. Fucking Alan Wake 2, which it's hard to believe it's ever even getting a sequel. Alone in the Dark, the new Alone in the Dark, looks fucking awesome. I played the demo for that. Spider-Man 2, which I'm super fucking stoked for. I really love Spider-Man and Miles Morales. Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. Like, there's so many games coming out. It's kind of ridiculous. I gotta try to find a way to get money for them. And then presumably the fucking DLC for Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Yeah, barely.
I need to figure out.
I'm assuming sooner or later we're gonna get the DLC for Resident Evil 4 Remake separate ways. Especially since they just showed that it was like data leak. They've already added 7 achievements to the game files.
Acting up. Reset the power down there and get to the other elevator. You're nearly here.
Not yet, but there will be. In the original game, there were separate ways where you played as Ada, and that wasn't in the remake. But now it seems like they're gonna be bringing separate ways to the remake, but like dramatically expanded. It was the data miners found separate ways shit in the game's save files. And then, besides seeing it in the save files, they actually literally just found 7 new achievements were added.
What the hell?
And many credible leakers who have correctly leaked shit have already stated that, yeah, it's coming. And I absolutely loved Resident Evil 4 Remake. So I'm really looking forward to the DLC whenever that launches. Oh, that's fucking more money. God, these fucking things. And then in November, we're getting a fucking Star Ocean 2 is getting remade, which that's great. Everybody usually says that's the best Star Ocean, and it's the hardest one to find. And they had re-released the first game. And, like, they made, like, PSP ports, and they re-released the first game. So we all assumed that's what's gonna happen. And like, no, we're gonna completely remake Star Ocean 2. In the same way that we did Octopath Traveler. Like, they call it the HD 2D art style. So, that's coming in November. And then, I'm not sure if we're gonna get... I'm not sure if we're gonna get, yeah. I literally own every other Star Ocean game, so... But the second game is really hard to come by, which blows, because almost everyone will tell you the second game is the best. Like, for fucking ages. It's like, just generally agreed, the second one is the best. And that just came out of nowhere. Everyone was thinking they were just going to port the PSP version. That's what they did with the first Star Ocean. They re-released the first game, but they ported the PSP version to PS4. So people just assumed that was going to do. Nope. So, but then that, like I said, that's coming out, and then Even more stuff that I can't even fucking recall, man. Like, so much shit's coming out this year. And you have to take it with a grain of salt, but it looks like Silent Hill 2 remake might actually come out this year. I had figured that it would not be coming out this year, but they leaked that it could come on the anniversary of Silent Hill 2. And it's not a placeholder date either, because the placeholder date's usually December. So, and, you know, we'll have to wait and see, because it's a rumor. But if so, getting Silent Hill 2 remake and Resident Evil 4 remake in 1 year is pretty fucking bonkers. Let's see. Okay. Just making sure I get everything. So. And oh yeah, no, I'm sorry, I forgot. And then in December, we're getting fucking Avatar. And you know, I don't even like Avatar, but it's basically fucking Far Cry in space on an alien planet. And so I'm fucking down. Like, it literally, the gameplay, the moving around, it's like fucking playing Far Cry on an alien planet. They could basically just call it Far Cry 7. Really want that. So, like, there's so many fucking games coming out this year. It's almost fucking unfair. It's kind of insane. And there may or may not even be a Call of Duty game coming out this year. Although I don't really fucking care. I'm not really that big on Call of Duty. Or yeah, fuck. Mortal Kombat 1. Stupid fucking name. I'm still super excited for it though. Oh, that's right. I gotta find a fuse. What am I doing? Like, as much as I think it's a fucking stupid to call it Mortal Kombat 1 when it's the 12th game in the series, it looks fucking awesome. And that's coming out in August or September, somewhere around there. That's another big game. It's even dumber because despite the, okay, like their excuse is, well, this is a new continuity. Yeah, it's a new continuity, but it's directly referencing the old continuity. Like, if you want to get like super technical about it, at the end of Mortal Kombat 11, they had all fucked the timeline up. So Liu Kang became like the fire god and fixed the timeline. And this is like his new timeline. Liu Kang is the fire god. They reference Liu Kang being the fire god, okay? So while directly references the old continuity. And that's the same thing that happened with Mortal Kombat before, so God damn it. I just don't like it when they fucking do that, okay? Because it's just dumb. And it creates even more confusion because technically speaking, Mortal Kombat 9, that everybody just calls it MK9, that was just called Mortal Kombat because that was a reboot that went back to the first 3 games. So when you say, you know, Mortal Kombat 1, are you talking about Mortal Kombat 1, the first game, or the new game? Or are you talking about the reboot that came in 2011? And it adds all kind of fucking confusion that you could just fucking get over by just putting in one extra 2 there by the fucking number. And they think they're being clever. They think that, oh, well, if we avoid the number, if we avoid the number, it'll be fine. More people want to play the game. Like, they think that people won't want to play the game if it's called 12. Yeah, that's why the last 11 Mortal Kombat sold well. It's because they didn't want to play the Mortal Kombat game. Yeah, that's what it was. And I mean, I understand why they rebooted it. Okay, so with the fucking with Mortal Kombat 9, they had gotten so fucking far away from the original, they wanted to go back. I get that. And, you know, but then they had the whole time travel thing, and when you add time travel to any story, it gets insanely difficult. That's why, like, as tempting as time travel is, a lot of stories would be better off avoiding time travel, because it's Pandora's box. Once you open up time travel in a story, there's no closing that door. And on top of that, it's one of the hardest things to write properly. Because when you have time travel, literally, there's a fucking million possibilities to account for. It's really hard to account for them. So, you know, I'm not saying that stories haven't gotten it right. There's tons of games that have gotten the idea of time travel right, and tons of movies, Doctor Who. But it's for a lot of stuff though, they'd be better off not doing it. Time travel effectively, and it's really hard to not do time travel. Like, time travel becomes a thing where it's like, why would we do anything else? Like, if you're not careful, time travel completely fucks any stakes that you have in the story. Oh, this person died, well, we'll just go back in time. Oh, I just tripped and spilled my lunch, I'll just rewind time. And like, for anything that happens, we'll just fucking rewind time. So, and then even if you don't rewind time, because obviously you can't have a story like that, it becomes, well, why didn't you? So, and you know, it got kind of meta, because Mortal Kombat 11 literally had it set up so it was like, the main villain was literally Kronika, of course with the fucking K, because it's, you know, they, obviously people who make Mortal Kombat are dyslexic. Kronika was literally like, you know, the main villain of 11 is like, she's literally trying to kill everyone to set the timeline straight, because she's like, you guys mess with the timeline, and I fucking hate you for it. I'm the keeper of the timeline, and this is so fucked, what you've done.
Elias, I'm in the elevator. I see the shoe. Elias, you there?
So, I can kind of understand why they wanted to reboot it. Because by the time they came to the end of Mortal Kombat 11, they literally had past and future versions of characters, alternate versions of characters, and multiple different timelines. So I can understand why they wanted to bring it to heel and fucking, you know, do that. That's conveniently what they did. Liu Kang closed the timeline, fixed the shit, and started a new continuity. And that also gives them the leeway to reinvent characters, because now they're not beholden to past continuity. But just call it Mortal Kombat 12, okay? Just call it Mortal Kombat 12. Just call it fucking 12. You're not being clever by calling it 1. You're just confusing people.
Elias, can you hear me?
And it's the same, you know, it's the same thing many other things have done. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, Mortal Kombat did it. No. Like Battlefield 1. That was like the 15th fucking game. It was sort of clever because that was in World War 1. So it was like, oh, hey, we're Battlefield 1 in World War 1. But still, it was like the 15th fucking Battlefield game. Okay? And not only that, but it's like, how many fucking first games in a series do you know have 1 in the title? Normally, they don't need to say 1 because it's The first. You add 1 in your head. Like, they don't need to say Resident Evil 1. They just could say Resident Evil. And in retrospect, you say 1, but they didn't need to add a fucking 1 suffix. Or, God of War 1. No. And no, man, don't even get me started on that, calling God of War. And then God of War 2018 was just God of War. So then, oh my God. And it's bad because it also can make things worse in the future. Because they kind of skated by, because the original Mortal Kombat was never called Mortal Kombat 1. It was just called Mortal Kombat. So it's like, ha ha ha, we're clever. What the fuck happens if you make a sequel to this? Is it Mortal Kombat 2? 2? Mortal Kombat Part Deuce? What then? Because Mortal Kombat 2 was called Mortal Kombat 2. Do we skip over it and we just go back to 13? And then you have to sit and fucking explain to it, and all this shit, right? And everybody's already calling it MK12. Everyone and their mother is already calling it Mortal Kombat 12. So, like, you did all this shit, and people are gonna call it Mortal Kombat 12 fucking anyway. The same way that you rebooted Mortal Kombat before, and you just called it Mortal Kombat, but now everybody calls it MK9. It didn't work then, why would it now? Black Ops. Or, I'm sorry, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Do you mean Modern Warfare 2007? Or do you mean Modern Warfare 2019? Modern Warfare 2, do you mean Modern Warfare 2011? Modern Warfare 2 2011? Or Modern Warfare 2 2022? Oh my God. Like, okay, they could have why not just call it remake? Right? It sounds like, fucking what? But it winds up working out like Final Fantasy VII Remake. They could just say remake. So now you don't need to say, if you mean Final Fantasy VII 1997 or Final Fantasy VII 2020. You can just say Final Fantasy VII Remake. FF7R. And then the second part, they wisely called it Rebirth. So you don't have to say Final Fantasy VII Part 2 or Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. You can just say Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Or just Rebirth. That's the correct way that you handle that. Not to mention the fact that Final Fantasy has just stuck with their naming. And I applaud them for that. We're Final Fantasy 16. Fucking deal with it. We're not going to get rid of our names. This is what we're doing. It's like developers get scared of certain numbers. It's like, well, guys, if the number's too big, they're going to be scared to play the game. No, bitch. The number being that high means that you were good enough that you got to make that many games. If you were on your fucking 16th game in the series, if you're in, yeah, oh Scoob. If you're on your 16th, lasted 16 games in a space where most games are lucky to get a sequel. So many games just get 1, 2 games, 3 games, they're fucking forgotten. You should be proud of that fact and not try to fucking obscure it. And thank fucking God that Resident Evil has also kept to that, okay? If they were to announce Resident Evil 9 and just call it Resident Evil, I would fucking lose it. Thankfully, they're not going to do that. Capcom doesn't play that game.
Sorry for not responding.
And honestly, I think, they always do guest characters in Mortal Kombat. I would love to see Shaggy in Mortal Kombat, okay? Mortal Kombat is published by Warner Brothers. That owns the rights to Scooby-Doo and Hanna-Barbera. Hanna-Barbera is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers. That does, so like Warner Brothers has the rights to like Johnny Quest, Barbie, Josie and the Pussycats, Scooby-Doo obviously, just about any of those, the Flintstones, the Jetsons. Like, Hanna-Barbera was the fucking face of cartoons in the 60s and 50s. It was kind of insane. So, they own the rights to Shaggy, and it's been a fucking meme for years now. So, honestly, it would be fucking hilarious to see Shaggy be a legitimate fucking character and rip somebody's head off. And it would go viral. It would.
Can we still get to the shoe?
Yeah, based on emergency power. So I'll need to stay here and run a manual override. Don't worry. I can get you over.
Zoinks!
We'll carry you across.
Oh man, what am I doing, Scoob? Fuck, have Scooby be a character. Ruh-roh! Reality! Would you kill somebody, Scooby-Doo? No. Would you do it for a Scooby snack? Hell yeah. I fucking reeled him.
UJC Printing for all your needs.
Just have a fatality where Scooby-Doo fucking summons in Scrappy-Doo to kill the person because everybody hates Scrappy-Doo with good reason. Scrappy-Doo's a bitch. And I'm not even kidding about that. Scrappy-Doo fucking killed Scooby-Doo. Just so you know. They had a point where Scooby-Doo started to struggle in the ratings in the original run. And when I say struggle, I mean it struggled according to them. It was still like heavily viewed, but there was like a drop in viewership. So they fucking Scrappy-Doo was meant to save Scooby-Doo. And it worked at first. But like it wound up eventually killing Scooby-Doo because they kept adding more and more Scrappy until he took over the fucking show, and it was just Scrappy, and the fans fucking hated him. Puppy power!
And you need to find a way to turn the power back on in there.
But fuck. I mean, they've even done the same thing, dude, for Scooby-Doo. Hey, let's make a new Scooby-Doo thing, guys. Oh, that's great. What should we call it? Scoob. And that's another irritating fucking naming convention, right, of modern things. When they're like, let's make the name shorter. That's a good name. No, it's not. When you're not being fucking clever. It's like, you get that, right? You're not. And then you have fucking, oh my god, you have fucking stuff like Halloween. Okay, I like Halloween. Maybe I'm in the minority here because, Michael Myers, I think out of like the big slasher villains, he's like my least favorite, okay? I like Freddy way more, I like Jason way more. Fucking just about anybody. Michael Myers is okay. Okay, but I like the Halloween movies well enough, They're so fucking convoluted now that you need a flow chart to understand what you're doing. They've rebooted it like 4 times. Okay? You have the first continuity of Halloween movies, which is like 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. 3 is in a separate continuity, so already you have a pocket universe. And that's meta because they're watching the first Halloween in Halloween 3. Okay? But then you have H2O, which just ignores 4, 5, and 6. And is, follows up after 1 and 2. And that leads into Halloween Resurrection, which is fucking terrible. So we're already up to like 3 fucking universes. Then, Resurrection was like a fucking wet fart in your face. So they rebooted it with Rob Zombie's Halloween and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. So now we have another tangent timeline. And then they came back with the new Halloween, but that ignores the continuity of all of them. But the first movie, not even the second. And considering how fucked up the last Halloween movie was, that it's unanimously hated because it made like Michael Myers a side character in his own movie. It made some weird fucking dork the killer. And it pretty much ended with Michael Myers conclusively being killed. Like, his body put in a fucking, like, wood chipper. So, like, unless he can fucking reassemble, like, a Rubik's Cube, he's done. I'm assuming if they're gonna do another Halloween, they're gonna have to do another fucking continuity. You know, at least they fucking avoided that, like Batman, right? Batman has been rebooted so many fucking times, but any of the fucking shenanigans by clearly naming each one distinct shit. You have Batman, and some people call it, 1989 or whatever, but, like, it's the only one that's just called Batman, so there's, like, no need. Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, then you had fucking Batman Begins, so even though it's an origin story, they clearly added in The Dark Knight Rises, then Batman v Superman, keeping the naming convention really fucking clear, and then The Batman, even as simple as adding The Batman, still, so, like, despite the fact that Batman has been rebooted, like, a shit ton of times, It would be like if they made Batman, the Batman 2, and they called it Batman. But they wouldn't do that. They're just calling it the Batman 2. Like, it's not fucking rocket science. And people were getting onto it. I remember people were bitching. It's the same way that people always bitch. About, it doesn't need to be fucking rocket science, okay? It's the sequel to the Batman. Calling it the Batman Part 2 is okay. And I would rather they call it the Batman Part 2 than call it the Batman 1. Well, the last movie didn't have 1, so see, we're doing, like, no. Bit of rant there, but still. But, the long and the short of it is, we have numbers for a fucking reason. Use them. Use them right.
The door won't open until the power finishes cycling up. We're ready for a fight.
I guess it just frustrates me because it's like they're complicating things that don't need to be complicated, just like needlessly complicating them. Like, it should be so simple. Oh, come on.
You'll need to rotate the structure to reach the cell.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. I have to go back up and get the fucking... Yeah, anyway, that was my TED Talk. Okay, they come in. Oh, it's unlocked. Okay. Oh. We're gonna say...
UJC Printing at your service.
Alright, I'm gonna end this here.